What is up, everybody? Today I'm doing my top 10 action figures in my collection. Now, this is probably a video that I never planned on doing. Honestly, I was more like a stop motion guy, do all my stop motions, kind of get all the other stuff out of the way, but I wanted to do this now because it seemed like the best time to do it. I got a lot of figures, and some of them better than others, and obviously I want to share them with you. But first, before we get into it, shout out to some of my boys. Got to give a shout out to Theo, Elijah, Freddie, Leo, James, Chase, all my boys. You probably don't, well, nobody knows who they are, obviously. You probably don't even know me. But anyway, let's give it a start. So, firstly, it was really difficult for me to pick number 10, so obviously I have the top 10, but I couldn't really pick 10. It's always difficult, you know, you've got your favourites and then you've got that least favourite, but I think this is a realistic choice. I'm going to go with my basic Chris Jericho, and he was only on 2 of the stop motion shows. I believe he was only on the latest 2. Now, let me tell you some of the stuff that I had planned for him. He was supposed to have a tag team with Edge, rivalry with Jon Moxley, pretty big thing. And then I kind of stopped the stop motion stuff, kind of got better at doing it, and I just stopped the shows completely, because I wouldn't have enough time to do them all. So, number 10 is Chris Jericho. This is the Elimination Chamber Basic, all the way from 2010. Got this at NT Games. If you know, that's kind of like the thing in the UK where you basically buy and sell just hand-me-down stuff, basically, just second-hand. Now, number 9. I have another 9 figures here. I'm honestly looking at this and I'm thinking, is there really a reason for me to be making this list? But I think my number 9, like, obviously you want good figures, you want figures that can move around a lot, but I think this one just kind of moves around a bit too much, it's a bit too loose. That is my Elite AJ Styles. I believe this was his first time in the line. Yeah, I think it was his first time in the line, but it's the blue and white with the Japanese writing. Honestly, I've used them a lot in the stop motions. He was just really difficult to actually do stop motions with because he would never stay still. The figure would never stay still. And if you noticed in the first ever episode of DCW, the show, you could notice he was in 2 of the matches, and it was terrible to film. They were terrible to film because I could barely get anything right. So, number 9, AJ Styles. Now, coming in at the number 8 spot, we have, see, I like to consider some of my guys, like, in DCW, if you look at the show, you got workhorses, right? You got the people who do most of the stuff. This guy, he's a workhorse, kinda, but for one of the divisions that wasn't really talked about all that much, and that is my Elite Aleister Black. And no, it's not Malachi Black, it's not Tommy End, it's Aleister Black. He's always been called that in the shows. I also see a lot of other stop motion channels, such as WSC. He always calls him not Tommy End, Aleister Black, even when he has several other gimmicks. So it's always been kind of like, that's kind of what you do. You always call him Aleister Black. You call the figures by whatever the name is of their figure. So, on to number 7. I'll take a look here, see if I can, there we go, right. Number 7. Now, this one I did actually get recently, so I kind of have a reason to be, well, put this at number 7. It's a figure I got quite recently. It's the one I used in my most recent stop motion, and you notice one of the other ones isn't in here, but that is my Elite Kevin Owens. Now, why do I put this guy here? And also, you can notice I put the Undisputed Era armband. I've always done that with my Kevin Owens figures ever since I saw that WSC match with the Undisputed Era and Kevin Owens versus The Shield. But I also, when I first got this figure off eBay, obviously I got most of my figures off eBay, I noticed this, and you probably won't notice this in the video, but the shirt, somebody had cut the side of the shirt, thinking that probably they couldn't get it off or something. But that just kind of really annoyed, like, made it terrible for me. And obviously I didn't see that when I bought it, so that comes in at number 7. Now, remember, some of the reasons I get that I don't like these figures, or some of the reasons I put them slightly lower on the list, is may not just be because of the way I put them on the stop motions. It could just be because, like, things to do with the actual figures. But anyway, coming in at number 5. Oh wait, no, wait. 6. Number 6. Coming in number 6 spot, going higher in the list now. It is my SummerSlam Elite Rey Mysterio. I got this for Christmas this year. This guy was on the first episode of DCW. He was actually in the first ever championship match, or the first ever world championship match we had in DCW. That was back when we had the 2 world titles. But obviously Rey Mysterio, really cool figure. It's just the fact that you can't really do much with the figure. There's nothing you can really think of. It's Rey Mysterio. Like, there's not many good storylines I can really put him in, because I can't really think of much. I haven't really got many other people that can actually do stuff with Rey Mysterio. So he'll be coming at the number 6 spot. And at the number 5 spot, we have, obviously I'm happy to do this, but this is somebody I've never showed on my stop motions, ever. I haven't got a chance, because he was actually a really, very recent purchase. You may have seen in my monthly figure collection, you may have seen that. I don't remember what I called the video. It's like all my figures that I got in July. I got plenty more now, but it is my AEW series Unrivaled 3 Darby Allin, and I do have the jacket. I'm just don't put the jacket on him, because you know I just want to quickly pick him up and start doing stop motions if I ever need to do that. But yeah, Darby Allin, he's probably one of my best figures, but I always find like the characters, like, it's the figures with the small feet, the figures with like the obscure feet, like kind of like how I've only ever done one stop motion with Matt Riddle and I've ever actually used it. So like, because they have like sort of obscure like feet shapes. So that was obviously kind of difficult for me. I really didn't feel like using him all that much, so Darby Allin coming in at the number 5 spot. And in the number 4 spot, we have, once again, I'm happy to do this, but it is one of the workhorses again, somebody who's been in the World Title Division for DCW for a long time, since the very beginning actually. He had his first rivalry on the 2nd episode of DCW, and that was Bobby Fish. Obviously, he's probably one of the best figures I own. He was actually one of the first Elite figures I ever got. I actually got him on the same day as one of our other figures, which we will cover in a minute as our number 2 spot. But yeah, anyway, Bobby Fish, great figure. Sad to put him at number 4, but you know, I got other figures that are better. Now, in the number 3 spot, this is a figure that I also got very recently, that you didn't see in the monthly figure catalogue thing, and that is my brand new Elite Daniel Bryan. Obviously, it is a very big upgrade from Bobby Fish fell over. It's obviously a very big upgrade from my previous Daniel Bryan, which looked like this, which you've probably seen already on the stop motions. As you can see, unfortunately, the head scans are exactly the same, which I was not expecting, but Daniel Bryan, number 3 spot. I'm happy about it, because that one I'm actually happy about. That one makes sense to me. So, at the number 2 spot is the current DCW World Champion, Kenny Omega, obviously. So, like I said, AEW figure, I got this on the same day as the Bobby Fish, or I may have got it a day before, I don't remember, this was about 2 years ago I got him. Now, one of the problems I always had was the interchangeable hands. They kind of made many more with the other figures. Kenny Omega didn't really have any other sort of iconic hand positions. You kind of just sort of, you know, the fists, and you had like the gun pointing thing with the Bullet Club. But yeah, it's Series 1 as well. I think, yeah, this is the original Series 1. This isn't the 1B. This is the actual Series Unrivaled 1. This isn't the Unrivaled Series 1B. But now, the number 1. Actually, I want to give some honourable mentions firstly. I won't be showing them, but actually I can show some of these, I think. Yes, I can. Yep, I've got, if I can find them. Yes, I've got 3 of them here. They're all my honourable mentions. Now, my first honourable mention is Adam Cole. You've seen him on all the stop motions. He was a world champion for a while. And yeah, just pretty good figure. Honestly, just a really great figure. I don't really see what else I could say about that. But he just couldn't beat any of the other figures on this list. As with Kushida, as you probably know, I did use the jacket of this guy. One of them for Sami Zayn, and the other one for another character, which I will be getting into in a minute. So yeah, also from Cruiserweight Champion. So, and finally, our final honourable mention is the Unrivaled Series 4 Matt Hardy. Honestly, just a great figure all round. I did not really expect to put him here, but still a great figure, honestly. I was expecting him to be on the top 10, but I had to look at the figures, and honestly, I had, wow, like, you think of it, you think of your list, and then you just take a look at your figures, and you completely change your mind. Now, you might think for this next one, why is this at the number 1 spot? This figure is a pretty bad figure. It's one of my only custom figures, actually. This, you've probably seen it on the shows already, but that is my custom figure. The GM. Yes. Now this thing, I made when I was 9. Or 10 maybe, I don't know, maybe 9. But this is when I first started discovering like custom figures. So what I did was, I took the head off a Tyler Breeze figure, I swapped it with a John Cena, and there you go, you had the GM. And then a bunch of years later, I painted it a bunch. You can still see some of like the accents of paint. But I managed to take it all off, left it in a bowl of water for about 2 days, and used the sponge, and it all came out, all came off. And now we have this guy, the GM, classic. But yeah, that honestly, the reason I picked him for number 1 is probably just because he's a really sentimental figure for me. Honestly, I couldn't think of any other figures to put at number 1, so he's probably the figure that I probably have the most memories of having and using and stuff. I remember on my very old channel, I cannot remember what the name is, so do not try to look it up. If you can find it and comment down below what it is, I will respond back. But I cannot for the life of me find it. But honestly, there was a match. This guy was a world champion. He did beat John Cena in another pro wrestling promotion. So yeah. Anyways, everyone, that is my DCW wrestling figure tier list. This was obviously kind of an emotional video to make, but honestly, it was just really difficult trying to pick the spots. Like, I had all the figures in mind, I just could not tell where to put them. And obviously, the honourable mentions, that was kind of a really difficult thing to do, but anyway, subscribe, leave a comment, and make sure to like the video and turn on the bell so you never miss another video from me when I actually upload. Have a good day, and goodbye.